Is Kaleem Qureshi, Code with Kaleem. So now today we are going to start another session that will in this session that we are going to cover that how to implement the form validation with the Flutter block. So guys, let's start it and let's move forward. So first of all, I let me show you that what type of form or page that I have created. This is a simple page. This is a static page with this email address and password, and the error message will come up here. So we have to see that how we will proceed with this. Let's jump into the code. So this is a I created a empty block folder here. Now here I'm going to create event class, state class, and the other one, the block class. So from here I'm going to use this that will create the basic three classes for me: sign in block, sign in event, sign in state. But now we have to check that how many type of state that we will have. You know that we will have the valid initial state. Of course, initial state is already created by this plugin, and the other one will be the valid state. Then once all the fields value will be verified, then one state will be the error state that we will use to display the error message here, and the other state that we can also create, that will be the loading state. So let's create this state that we just discussed. One will be the final class, and sign in valid state extends sign in state. Right, so let's create another one, final class, sign in error state extends sign in state. So but in sign in state, you know that we have to send the error message as well. So we will need a one attribute here, that will be the, what will be the attribute name? That will be error message, right? So we will create a one message for here, sign in. So sign in state like this we will create, and this dot error message, this dot error message, right? So this has been done. So the next state will be final class sign in loading state. I will tell you that why we will need the loading state. Whenever we have to, I will explain you that this loading state we will use it here. Let me show you that this is the, whenever user will press on the login, then we wanted to display some sort of circular indicator. That's why we will need this type of loading state. So I'm just creating the empty state for that stuff. So the next is the event. So we have to create an events. So what type of events we will have? Sign in event. This is the abstract class, sealed class. So the another was class sign in. We will have two types of events. One will be the email event that we have to trigger on the whenever user started type on the email address and on the password as well. So it's mean that for both we can make a one event, because we have to check both the values. So whenever user will type here or whenever user will type here, so it's mean that we will need only one event for now, so that we need to trigger. So we will create a one event, and the other one will be the submit event that we will create it separately. So let's create the event sign in text change event extends sign in event, right? So here we go. So but here you know that we will need two attributes, because we have to check what is in those values is a user has typed in those values, like the what user type in the email field and what user type in the password field. So we will need the two attributes, string email value, and the other one will be string password value, right? So the next sign in text change event, and this dot email value, and this dot password value. So we are done with this. Now the other one we will require the submit event. Let's copy that. Sign in, submit event. The second event will be submit event. In that we will also need the email and the password, but instead of this email value we should just mention the email and password. So like this, and this event has been created now, right? So this has been done. So the next thing, now let's move to the sign in block. So in a sign in block, what we will need, we will need the state sign in initial, and sign in initial state exists. Yes, that exists, right? So in this, what we have to define it here, sign in event. We have to copy this event sign in, and have to first do this, and then we will also handle that the other one. Okay, before we that is giving the error that is doesn't exist. So let's first add the package. How to add the flutter pub add flutter underscore block. So this package has been added. So let's come back here. Now you can see that it's automatically imported also. So another thing that we have to verify the email address. So for that one we can also add another package. We have another package with the name of email validator flutter pub add email underscore validator. So the other one has been also added. You can see here that email validator is also added. So let's move back to the block side. So here now we will handle this one. If email validator dot validate event dot email value is equal to false, then we will trigger the event, then we will trigger the event for the error sign in error state. Please enter a valid email address, right? So here we are. So the else case, if event dot password value dot length for instance less than 9, then we will just trigger the error message again. So in this error message we will just trigger please enter a valid password. Please enter a valid password. It should have more than 8 characters. It should have more than 8 characters, right? And in else case we will just trigger the which state? Valid state. Sign in valid state, right? So we will trigger this one, and now we will create an other event. What will be that event? Other event will be submit event. Sign in submit event event submit bracket. Let's move, and in this what we need to do, in this we just need to omit the loading for now, because we're just checking the that in this tutorial we're just checking the form validation for now. This part we will do in the next series, that how to check from the API. So for now I'm just going to display you this stuff. Okay, so where we are, so the next part is let's first wrap up the main class with the block provider. With the block provider, this one, right? This is a block provider, and here we will just call the block that we written there, right? So here now it's mean that now we wrap up the sign-in screen with this sign-in block. So it's mean that going forward we will have the access to the sign-in block inside the sign-in screen as well, or entire application, you can say, in other words. So in sign-in screen, now let's move to the sign-in screen and what we need to do. So first of all we need to wrap up the entire column, for instance, with the block builder, right? It's a block builder. I just wrap up this with the block builder, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to sign in block, call the sign in block, and the other one sign in state. right? So now we have the access to this one. So now we have to take a decision here that when we are displaying, for instance, the error message, so it's me. Let me enable this for you. This is state is sign in state. Say state is sign in state. So it's mean we will just uh, bring the message here whenever there is an issue while typing, right? So now in case we haven't any issue, then we will just return the empty container. It means that we don't need to display the any error text here there. So okay, the next one, what we need to do, the other one is the on change of email controller. We will just define the we have to omit, omit the sign in text change that so for that one, what we need to do, we'll use the block provider here, and with the off context, like this, sign in block and context dot add. So in here, sign in text change event, and here we have to pass the email controller email value, that whatever the users typed email text, and the other one the password controller dot text as well. So this way we can trigger it. We can trigger the on change, we will trigger the sign in text change event. So this will be triggered, right? So here, so the same thing that we have to do for the password as well. So we can just copy the same text, right? I'm just going to copy this one, right? So we don't need to change anything here. And the next one is the submit button. For the submit button, what we need is that in a submit button, we, in case of validation is started, so we will have to display the blue color for this cappuccino button. So for that one, what we can do, if state is sign in valid state, then it's mean that we will just display the, oops, 1 second guys, we will just display the colors dot blue. Otherwise we'll just display the gray color. So, and the next part is that on change of this, we have to call the submit button, submit event, right? So if state is sign in valid state, then we will trigger the block provider, then we'll trigger the sign in submit event, block provider dot of context. We basically trigger the sign in block, and here we go, just trigger the dot add, and here sign in submit event, right? And it's also asking for the same stuff. So email controller with the text, we can just pass that the same thing, right? And the password controller dot text. Okay, now we are done with this. So but one thing, once user will press the that submit button, we wanted to display some sort of that if we have, we should display some sort of circular bar. So for that one, if state is sign in state, sign in loading state, then we will just display the display the circular bar, circular progress indicator, and otherwise we'll just display the cappuccino button. So guys, let's start it, and 1 second, let me restart this application and then see that where we have implemented now. So let's see that once I will type ABC, so you can see here that is throwing a message, please enter a valid email address. So let me try to enter the valid email address, gmail.com, right? So now it's come up with a please enter a valid password. It should have more than 8 characters. So you if you notice that I have mentioned this error message in a block, right? This was executed, please enter valid password, it should have more than 8 characters, right? So it's mean that it started working. So let's enter the password 1 2 3, and now once we will reach to the 8 character, then you will see that the login button will be, should be in a blue color. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can see here that all the message gone and the login button is enabled, so it means that we can continue with the login procedure. So let's see. So you can also see that it's coming up with the circular bar as well. So this is the thing that we just implemented, and I hope that you guys able to understand something regarding the form validation, and that how we can implement the form validation. So far I'm just telling you the basic stuff regarding the block. So in future I'm going to present you with the entire framework, that the customized or the entire framework and the aligned framework that will really help you guys in order to implement the enterprise level application as well. So guys, if you like this video, then I will really suggest you that subscribe this channel, so you will get the updated videos as well going forward. Thank you guys.